Hello friends, welcome to the Tech Protein. So this is Ananjay. So in the last session we understood how different IP class ranges are defined. So in this particular session let us talk more about IP addresses again and try to understand how this classes class A range you understood, class B range you understood, and class C range you have already understood, right? But again, that doesn't signify why you call a network class A as the largest network, right? Or why you call a class C network as a small network. So let's try to understand that in some more detail. So friends, when we say an IP address, okay, consider IP address something dot something dot something dot something. Okay, so this IP address is divided into two parts. So the first part of an IP address, okay, so I've just shown you the division like this. Okay, the division could be here, it could be here in the middle, or the network can be divided here. Okay, or just for your understanding, let me simply write IP. Okay, an IP address is divided into two sections. So the first section of the IP address is known as is used for network, or this is also known as network portion of the IP address, and the other portion is the host portion. So IP address is divided into two portions. Number one is the network portion and the second one is the host portion of the IP address. Okay, so consider, now you know that class A range starts with 1 and ends with 126, right? Class B range starts at 128 and ends at 191. Now coming to class C, range starts at 192 and the last IP is 223. So this is the range of these classes. Okay friends, so now class A, class B and class C. Now when you talk about class A IP address, so it is like this. So as we all know, IP address V4 in specific has 4 fields. So class A, so let me draw it here, 0 something dot something dot something dot something. So if I see a value between 1 to 223, sorry 1 to 126 in the first field of the IP address, then the rest of the fields could be anything, say star dot star dot star, it could be anything. But in the first field, if you see a value between 1 to 126, so now you know that it is a class A IP address, right? So when we say it is a class A IP address, it means the first field is network field and rest all the fields are the host fields. Very important point. So consider I have 0 to 1 to 126 in the first field. So the IP address is divided here after the very first field of the IP address. Okay, another important thing you need to know is when we say network portion is denoted by 1, and host portion is denoted by zeros. So now if you now further translate this into binary values, how many values are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? So there are 8 bits here in the network section or every section of the IP address. But the catch is the network portion of the IP address is denoted using 1. So what we will do here is we will make all these bits as 1. So if I convert all the bit values in the IP address to 1, so it is going to give me a value as 255. I hope it is clear to all of you. Now host portion, again let me expand this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then host portion of the IP address is denoted using 0. So let me now translate that to all zeros. So the decimal value that we are going to achieve here is going to be 0, and it is going to be the same thing for the other fields because those fields are also the host fields. So what we did here is in the IP address, I looked at the first field of the IP address, which is 1 to 126. Consider I have an IP address 10.2.2.2. This is an IP address which belongs to class A. First field is 10. It means this is class A. For class A, first field is network field and all the other fields are host portions. So now network portion is denoted by 1. So I have converted all the 8 bits into 1 to get the value 255, and host portion, all the bits values are changed to 0. So if I do that here, it's going to be 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, again 8 times 0. So now the decimal conversion of all these fields is 255.0.0.0. So when you enter an IP and the first field of that IP is a part of this range, and when you press tab button on your network configuration wizard, right, to assign an IP address, we open the network adapter settings, go to properties, select IPv4, and then again hit properties to see the IP address configuration page, right? There is a field called IP address. You enter 10.2.2.2. Then the next field shows the subnet mask, and if you hit tab button or hit enter here after entering the IP address, the subnet mask is going to show as 255.0.0.0. So this number comes automatically just because of this particular calculation. So friends, now you must have understood that if you enter an IP for class A, it's going to give you the subnet mask of this. So this is what is considered as a subnet mask. So for class A, the subnet mask is like this. Same thing if we calculate for, let me clean it up completely. It's not clean. Let me use I hope it's not clear. So class A 0 to 126 in the first field, dot something dot something dot something subnet mask. So this is the first field, so this is going to be n dot h dot h dot h. It means all ones 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Again 8 zeros. Again 8 zeros. So now this is going to be 255 dot 0 dot 0 dot 0. So this is what you are going to see as a subnet mask for class A. Let's now find out for class B. So here you can understand network is divided here. For class B, values in the first field are going to be 128 to 191 dot something dot something dot something. Looking at this, you understood that it is a class B. So it's going to be, the first field is going to be, this is going to be the network portion, this is going to be the network portion, and rest other portions are going to be host. So now let's consider network portion all once. So this becomes 255, this becomes 255, this becomes 0, and again 0. So if you enter any number in the first field of the IP address between this range, hit tab button, you will see that this is the subnet mask for class B. Same thing for class C, 192 to 223 dot something dot something dot something. So it's going to be network, 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 host. So I'll directly write the values. So it's going to be 255 dot 255 dot 255 dot 0. So that is considered as a subnet mask for class C. So these are standard networks, okay? Nothing has been subnetted, there is no logical subnetting done. Okay, so that's why we are saying, looking at the first field of the IP address, you can identify the class of the IP address and also the subnet mask. Okay, so friends, these are the default subnet mask values reflecting in the IP address configuration wizard. Just looking at the first field or the logic behind the IP addresses which are configured. But you can also modify the host portion values later, okay? Or you can translate, or you can convert network portion into host portion, okay? For further subnetting this network or dividing a standard network into small chunks. So that is also possible, and that it is done, or it is also called as subnetting. Okay, so that we will be discussing in the advanced chapters, maybe in the next module of this particular course. So this is the basic module, so we won't be covering on so much details in this particular course module, but I will definitely be covering these aspects in the advanced courses or the next module, which is going to be available very soon. So friends, now you have got a clear understanding on how the IP addresses are uh, uh, defined, or the how the subnet mask is retrieved from an IP address. So now class A IP address, if you look at here, to summarize, the class is the range, the IP is divided here. So this is the network portion and 3 host portions. For class B, first 2 fields of the class B IP address here is network portion, and rest 2 fields are host portions. And in class C, I have 3 fields as network portion and 1 field for host portion. So now if you look at this, you see a large number of hosts in class A, medium number of hosts in class B, and only 1 field for class C. So from this you can understand that when you say larger number of hosts, it means this address is used in large networks. When you say medium number of hosts available, so this is used for medium size networks. And when you see class C, so this is used in small networks. So with this, I hope you have an idea that why you call class A as a large network, class B as a medium sized network, and class C as small sized network. So friends, so I hope you have got a clarity, some more idea about the IP addresses. So now in the next session, I would be giving you some idea on how, now consider if I decide to use class C, so why should I use a class C network, right? Or where should I use it? And if I use it, then what are those aspects that I need to remember while assigning the IP addresses in the class C network? That could be my home network or the office network. So I hope with this you have some better understanding on subnet mask. So thank you for watching. Stay tuned, and let us meet in the next session. Thank you very much.